Did you actually make a laydown?
Huh?
Did you actually make a laydown?
You have no idea what I laid down.
Well, Hansen not particularly interested in giving Wasika any more information than he already has.
And he's not real happy now, Hansen, but he really made a good fold.
And you're not going to believe me anyway.
Well, a very good win in the meantime for Fogel.
My system can't function if I do that too often. At least I got some stuff from my tape recorder.
And we've seen that tape recorder since the event got started. Gus Hansen just kind of talking to himself. What is up with him and the tape recorder?
It's basically a tape recorder. Just to keep a little note on how crazy people are or how tight they play or whatever is going on.
The first time I saw Gus talking to his little audio recording, I didn't really think anything of it. I mean, he does have a reputation for being a little bit of an oddball.
I beat Gus in a hand, and then he virtually immediately got up and disappeared and went up the little stairs, and I saw him go like this, and I thought, that bugger's taking notes.
Is Gus still talking into a voice recorder?
Yeah, he does speak Dutch or whatever he's talking in there, and I don't understand.
In general, poker players are a little lazy. So I might be the only one kind of taking the time listening to the recordings afterwards.
I don't even know if he goes back and listens to that. Could he stand listening to himself? I mean, come on.
Cool, there he is, talking away into it. And it's as if he's almost in a world of his own. You know, he's talking there. You sometimes get a sense when he is talking into that, a whole stampede of like wild boars could kind of go by, and loads of naked women and lots of clowns and explosions could happen, and Gus would be, you know, gently speaking into us, whatever the hell he's saying, you know.
I do my own thing, and when I'm playing a poker tournament, I'm trying to stay focused and playing as good as I can and walk away from the table taking down some notes, and they can laugh if they want. That's fine with me.
I once tried to do that at a World Series of Poker, and one of my opponents asked me, what are you doing, writing a book or something?
And he was right.
I have a question for you, Gus. Yeah, before you talk into that, do you always say captain's log first?
Else it doesn't work. If you don't.
You have to say captain's logs.
Is there anything nerdier than a poker player and a Trekkie?
I think that's the whole package right there. King Jack suited now for Wasika, and he bets 50,000.
It was so sick.
Gus Hansen is still bemoaning the last hand. Pair of deuces for Vogel. Vogel going to let that go. A 9-8 for Hansen.
Mediocre cards, but a good price to call from the blind.
Wasika doesn't give you much. And Gus will call.
Hansen may, in fact, be a little bit steamed from the last hand, and he connects on the flop. Not only does Hansen make middle pair, he's the only one with a club in his hand. He's got the flush draw, and he bets 72,000.
How much is it?
And Wasika will think this one over. Wasika with King Jack. Decided underdog.
I don't see any way Wasika calls here. That's an easy fold, and Hansen gets a little bit back. He seems, however, to still be dwelling on that big laydown against Vogel.
Anybody else move all in? I call in 1 second. Anybody else move all in? I call in 1 second. But I decided not to gamble.
Welcome back to the Crown Towers Hotel and Casino, the home of the 2007 Aussie Millions. Well, the Crown is a bastion of luxury and recreation, and those two ideas come together at the Crown Spa. Whether it's a sauna, jacuzzi, or massage, you can let all your worries melt away at the Crown Spa. Well, Gus is probably reminding himself to book a massage. He may need it after this tournament. Action continuing at our feature table. And the action folds to Kevin Atkin out of Essex, England, with an ace-8. He's been very quiet. He's not going to play that in this hand either. Here's Goldfarb.
All right, I'm on.
And Robert Goldfarb going to go all in, the real estate investor from Scottsdale, Arizona.
That's his last 48,000 chips.
Over to Gus.
That was a bad card for you.
For
Of course,
me?
of course, all 52 cards would have been bad for you. That was bad one for you, too.
Gus is explaining to Goldfarb that because Hansen is getting nearly 5-1 on this call, there's almost no 2 cards he can't call with. We are off to the races, and bad news for Goldfarb. We saw Atkin fold the ace-8.
So here we go to the flop. 9, 6, 7.
Now that's an interesting board. Goldfarb has an open-ended straight draw. Gus Hansen has a gut shot straight draw, but the card he needs is in Goldfarb's hand, the 8.
Back into beautiful 6 out.
And there's a 6.
If Goldfarb can avoid a jack or an 8, he will survive. Yes! Goldfarb remains in the Aussie Millions.
Good hand.
Not much to play with, but he's still here.
Well, the crowd and players at our outer tables look on as Robert Goldfarb doubles through Gus Hansen at our feature table. We check in right now on the always mercurial Andy Black.
I have to stop bluffing now when I'm winning.
And Black is winning, doing very well. 1.4 million in chips right now for Black.
And having way too much fun.
Meanwhile, at another table, a wild situation going on. Patrick Antonius is all in with pocket queens. Julius Coleman is also all in. He has trip trays. Coleman and Antonius are covered by that guy right there, Jimmy Fricke, after the flop. Now, if a 10 comes on the turn of the river, Fricke will knock out both players.
Yet again, Fricke has managed to get a whole bunch of chips involved with the worst hand. Will he pull out another miracle?
He has done it time and time again. To the turn, a 9.
So far, Coleman is still good.
And a king on the river, and Julius Coleman, the Australian native, triples up to over 1.5 million. Patrick Antonius loses some chips, but he did win the side pot against Fricke. He's got 846,000. And meanwhile, one-time chip leader Jimmy Fricke down to 1.6 million in chips after losing nearly 1 million chips in that pot alone. Meanwhile, back at our feature table, Gus Hansen has nearly 500,000 chips more than Fogel. The short stack is still Goldfarb, even though he did double up just a couple of moments ago. And Seal and Waska is still hanging around 2 plus 500,000. Blinds are still 10,000 and 20,000 with 3,000 ante. This is Atkin with an ace-queen suited. He'll make it 70,000. Now Goldfarb, pair of 7s.
Got to move here.
I'm all in.
There he goes.
That makes it 121,000 now to Wasika. With a little pair, he lets it go.
Wow, look at these hands.
Now Fogel, pair of 10s.
He's not worried about Goldfarb. He knows that man will move with just about anything at this point.
Raise to 200,000.
So he raises to 200,000. Hansen has a small pair.
Man, I would love to do something crazy.
It says, I'd love to do something crazy, and then he won't.
Not going to do it.
Not going to do it. He's going to go talk to himself.
Easy fold for Seal, but what a hand. 6 players, 4 had pocket pairs, and now Atkin, ace-queen.
You must have aces, kings. Must have aces, kings.
Well, close enough.